wall in the museum has the title honoring our veterans. Those wooden hanging letters are created with real written letters wrote to the Lanton family from their son while he was off at war. The letters were crafted by Addie Harris and Sidney Cometto. The wall also has displays from World War I, World War II, Vietnam, including the unveiling of the dedication of our Soldiers and Sailors Monument, May 30th, 1929, a certificate from the King Neptune crossing ceremony, and Wesley Burnett, number 4 sergeant from a Japanese bomber off the USS Wasp.
Roger Hood was a Tech 5 that served in the U.S. military in World War II. He served for 4 years and 8 months in the service. He received the Good Conduct Ribbon, American Defense Service Ribbon, European, African, Middle Eastern Theater Ribbon, with 1 Silver Star, 3 Bronze Stars, 5 Overseas Service Bars, 3 Silver Stars, and was awarded the Combat Infantry Badge on May 26, 1944.
The Coulterville Stock Show was a major event in Coulterville in the early 1900s. The show was mostly held by a field or open areas around Coulterville. Everyone from Pinckneyville to Chester to Marissa came to the stock show. The show held a lot of contests like canned food contests and also carriage races. The winners of these events would win prizes.
The Adamai Hotel was quite the spectacle, and even today it's still the talk for some. Built in 1877 on 9 acres of land, it was massive and held many rooms, 30 to be exact, with the dining room supposedly being the largest and most grand. Leather sofas were popular in the lobby, while wonderful art coated the walls. It was 2 stories and was extremely popular, people coming by train all the way from St. Louis just to stay there and view its dazzling wonders. Some of the things that the Adamai was known for were their fine cuisine, mineral baths, croquet, tennis, large rooms for other sorts of entertainment, and finally, a lagoon. In said lagoon, an island rested in the center. Many bands played there, which is clear on the poster hanging on the wall, where Max Rhythm Makers had been playing that Tuesday night. For display, we have a rocking chair that was given to Laura Wilson by Ruth Berthold, as well as a set of dominoes in the case. In the case, we have some old Lions Club things, including a hat. We also have many pictures of the Adamai itself, including the old Dairy Queen and other businesses.
Their first school was built in the 1840s. It was by the block of the church square. In the 1850s, the first converter church was built. Later in 1857, a 1-room brick building school was built. As population increased, we needed a larger school, so in 1908, arrangements were made to build a 12-room school. In 1921, the 1-room school was moved across the tracks and turned into a segregated school. Then, in 1928, the high school opened. Some of the items of the museum include an invitation of the graduation to the class of 1900. It also has the 1984 basketball team and the 1941 school sport records. The peanut jar is a jar that was used in the Adamai Hotel that was sat on the counter full of peanuts. The guests could grab a handful of peanuts when they visited. The cups in here were items that were bought from the gift shop that were in the Adamai Hotel.
Our museum's art room has paintings that have been donated by many people from Coulterville. Most of the paintings were made and donated by the Tatum family. Coulterville Museum also features a gift shop. The gift shop includes t-shirts for $10, personalized suckers for $1, 2 personalized pencils for $1, and 4 personalized coasters for $3, and more.
According to Glimpses of Coulterville, Volume 17, 2009, the theater was founded in 1937 by 2 men from St. Louis. The 2 men decided that they would have a better business if they opened a theater somewhere they were more known. The men sold the theater to the Egyptian theaters. Vernon Holtz, the manager at the time, decided he would buy it in 1939. The Roxy Theater was owned for the longest time by Vernon Holtz. It could seat 300 people. The business began to decline, and to try to pay his taxes, Holtz switched to X-rated films. Shortly after, Holtz went out of business. The Roxy Theater fell to the ground in 1995. The museum features a room dedicated to the early days of the theater. The original sign is proudly displayed above our movie screen. Visitors can come and enjoy viewing pictures of historical Coulterville in the theater room. There are also many posters from 1930s on display in the room.
Dr. Plaster was a doctor in Coulterville for 45 years. He used the building as his residence and his office to see patients. This building is now used for the Coulterville History Museum. The exam room has some of the equipment that Dr. Plaster used during his practice as a rural town doctor in Coulterville. And the room museum has many of his belongings. We have his equipment from his practice. Dr. Plaster was a huge St. Louis Cardinals fan. The museum also features a display of some of the Cardinals memorabilia that is on a temporary loan.
The Liberty Theater. It is believed that the Liberty Theater was established in 1933. The exact location of this theater is still being investigated by the local history class. There were movies like Wild Boys on the Road and the Sphinx, both released in 1933. The movie called The Man in the Forest opened in the theater on November 10th, 1933. The museum features many original posters from the Liberty Theater.